Strap in, grab some popcorn, and hide behind your blanket. We're about to watch the top 5 urban legends and horror stories. Let's begin. Based on a true story, this chilling legend begins on a rain-slicked road winding past the old Willowbrook Cemetery, where shadows seem to stretch longer than they should. Locals whisper of a woman in a tattered white dress, her hair matted and eyes hollow, who appears at the stroke of midnight, thumbing for a ride from unsuspecting travelers. In 1952, a truck driver named Frank stopped for her, drawn by a strange mix of pity and unease. She climbed in silently, shivering, her voice barely a whisper as she gave him a distant address. Her skin was cold as marble, and the air around her seemed to freeze. As they neared the cemetery gates, Frank glanced over, and she had vanished, leaving behind only a damp patch on the seat and the faint, haunting scent of lilies. Shaken, he later learned the address belonged to a grieving mother whose daughter had died in a tragic car crash on that very road decades before. Since then, dozens have reported the same eerie encounter, always near midnight, always disappearing before the cemetery's iron gates. Some say her icy touch chills to the bone. Others claim muddy footprints appear mysteriously on car seats. The legend endures as a grim warning to late-night drivers. If you see her pale thumb outstretched in the darkness, think twice before you stop. Some doors, once opened, can never be closed, and some spirits never rest. If that wasn't chilling enough, let's move on to a chilling hitchhiker story. Based on a true story, imagine this. A cold, rainy night on the outskirts of Chicago in 1939. A young man driving along Archer Avenue spots a pale girl, soaked and shivering, thumbing for a ride. Her white dress clings to her fragile frame, her eyes hollow and filled with sorrow. Compelled by kindness, he pulls over. She whispers her destination, Resurrection Cemetery. The car fills with an eerie chill as they drive in silence, her gaze fixed on the passing darkness outside the window. When he arrives, she thanks him softly and steps out. Before he can blink, she vanishes into the mist, leaving only a lingering cold and a damp imprint on the seat. Locals whisper she is Mary, a teenager who died in a tragic accident decades ago on that very road. Over the years, dozens have encountered her, always on stormy nights, always near the cemetery gates. Some claim to find handprints scorched into the iron gates, as if she tried desperately to claw her way back to the living world. Others say she's searching for a way home, doomed to wander the lonely roads forever. So next time you drive that desolate stretch, beware. If you see a girl in white, think twice before you stop. Some rides never end, and some passengers are never truly alive. Now let's amp this up and tell a tale of the coffin bride. You won't forget this one. If you hear the scraping of metal beneath the city at midnight, run. In 1892, railway workers in New York uncovered a sealed iron coffin hidden behind a false wall deep within the abandoned tunnels near the old Hudson line. Inside lay the preserved body of Eleanor Marsh, a young bride who vanished mysteriously on her wedding night. Official records claim she died in a tragic train derailment, but the truth is far more sinister. Local whispers tell of her being entombed alive, her desperate screams trapped inside the iron as freshly poured concrete silenced her pleas forever. She clawed at the cold steel, her nails torn away, blood seeping into the rusted metal. When workers pried open the coffin, her eyes stared wide and glassy, her mouth frozen in a final silent scream of terror. Now her vengeful spirit drags her iron wedding dress through the tunnels, wailing for justice and revenge. Trespassers after dark report the clang of metal echoing through the darkness, accompanied by a haunting bridal lullaby that grows louder with every step. Some vanish without a trace, leaving behind only a trail of rust and the faint, sickly scent of wilted roses. They say if you glimpse her veil fluttering in the shadows, it's already too late. Her curse has claimed you. While we're at it, let's check out a haunting tale in Paris. Hope you still have your blanket. Beneath the glittering lights of Paris, a darkness festers, one far deeper than the city's notorious catacombs. Locals whisper of a forbidden tunnel sealed in 1897 after a string of mysterious disappearances that chilled the city to its core. It began when workers, expanding the catacombs, broke through an ancient bricked archway hidden for centuries. Inside, they discovered a chamber lined with bones not cataloged in any record, their skulls etched with strange looping glyphs that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. From that night onward, those who ventured near swore they heard voices echoing, pleas in forgotten tongues, desperate and mournful, mingled with a low, guttural chant vibrating through the stone walls. One worker was found days later, eyes wide open, mouth frozen in a silent scream, hands clamped tightly over his ears, as if trying to block out some unbearable sound. The city swiftly sealed the tunnel, but the legend only grew darker. They say if you stand above that spot on a moonless night, the whispers rise through the earth, promising forbidden secrets, threatening madness, and beckoning the curious to join the lost. Some believe the chamber was a mass grave of ancient cultists. Others claim it is a gateway to something older, hungrier than death itself. Whatever the truth, the catacombs are never silent, and the whispers, they are waiting, patient and hungry, just beneath your feet.